Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be asking GameStop if I should buy an Xbox Series X or a PS5. I did a video like this about a year ago before the Xbox Series X and the PS5 actually came out, and basically I called a few different GameStops and said, I'm looking for a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, which one should I buy? And kind of just followed their lead and answered some questions and stuff. And I kind of framed it as me being a casual gamer. I said I only had a PS4 and an Xbox One, but I don't play them often, haven't played them in a while, so I kind of want to upgrade and just wanted to get their opinion. So let's go ahead and call the first GameStop.
Thank you for calling GameStop. Thank you for calling GameStop. How can I help you?
Hey, I'm looking for an expert's opinion on if I should buy an Xbox Series X or a PS5. I don't have either of them right now, obviously. I have a PS4 and an Xbox One, but I haven't played them in a while. I'm kind of just looking for somebody's opinion on which one I should buy for Christmas.
So really, it kind of depends on you. They both kind of offer around the same things. They're just different in what you're geared towards more. The PlayStation does have those exclusives that kind of, I think, draws people in. They also tend to go towards more the lengthier story-based games.
Okay.
While Microsoft, they have their few exclusives. They don't have as many. They also are geared a little bit more towards online play with other people versus single-player mode. But really, it's all based on preference.
Okay, and I know there's been a lot of stock issues. Is there one console that's easier to get than the other right now?
I think it's slightly easier to get the Series X, but they're still both really hard to find. Gotcha.
Okay, and so if you were to have stock, is there like any kind of trade-in deals right now? Since I have a PS4 and Xbox One, if I were to trade up from a PS4 to a PS5, is there some kind of deal?
I know we do. We've been having a lot of trade booths going on the last month or so. What model is your PlayStation 4?
I just have the original one, the oldest one there is. Yeah.
So right now that's even going for 200 credit.
Okay, that's not bad.
Plus, if you're a pro member right now, you actually get an extra 10% in trade boosts for consoles. So you're looking at another $15 there. So
okay.
That's, $215 towards either console. And then if you trade in your other one as well, if you just have the slim, I think even the 500 gig Xbox One, that's another probably $200, $215.
Okay.
So.
Okay, cool. So that's a pretty good deal. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that helps out. I appreciate your help.
Of course.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So there's GameStop number one. Had a little trouble asking her the question at first, but now I think she had some pretty good advice. She didn't really lean one way or the other. Basically said that the PS5 has more exclusives. The Xbox Series X doesn't have as many, but is more geared towards online play. And I guess you can argue that. You could also argue the other side as well. But I think it was pretty good advice for a 30 seconds that she gave that advice. And it actually sounds like they have a fairly decent trade-in deal. $200 for an OG PS4 is not bad. So actually, if you had a PS4 and an Xbox One, you could probably trade both of those in and get your Series X or PS5 for free, which you could probably get more by, selling it on eBay. But, GameStop is no hassle trade-in, so that's definitely an option. So real quick before we call the second GameStop, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below if you want to help out the channel. And if you want to take it to the next level, hit that join button as well. And you can actually see videos 24 hours earlier than everybody else. Of course, both of these are optional, but if you want to help out the channel, go ahead and check those out below. So let's go ahead and call the second GameStop, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more open-ended on this one. I'm just going to say I'm looking to buy a Series X or a PS5 for Christmas, and just ask them for their recommendation straight up.
Thank you for calling GameStop, where you can pre-order Battlefield. How may I help you?
Hey, I'm looking for an expert's opinion. I'm looking to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series X for Christmas, and wondering if you have any recommendations on which one I should buy.
Are you already logged into any specific ecosystem? So what's your last console?
So basically, I have both a PS4 and Xbox One, but I bought them a long time ago and don't really play them much anymore, and kind of just looking to get into the next thing. So I'm not really tied into either one of them.
Okay, cool. In that case, it depends, right? So the PS5 has the really cool controller and the specific mechanics that they've installed into it and everything like that make it kind of a breath of fresh air as far as new stuff, right? Because you want the new thing to feel new.
Right.
The Xbox is kind of just Xbox but more.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The Xbox is, in my opinion, I have had both a PS4 and an Xbox One, and I currently have a PS4 Pro, which is my main daily driver, right?
Gotcha.
Just out of complete disclosure. So I'm a bit more heavily leaned towards the PS5, but in my opinion also, I kind of have gotten so bored with new consoles and new devices because they're all the same. Right, you get an iPhone last year, you got an iPhone today. It's literally the exact same freaking thing, maybe with a slightly different camera.
Right.
But the PS5 is the first console that I've seen that actually has like something new and interesting about it, outside of the stuff that Nintendo does. It has the adaptive triggers, which actually do give you kind of an interesting twist to how games work nowadays, and that's why, in my opinion, I would go with the PS5.
Okay, cool. Are there any specific games you recommend on the PS5?
Oh God, pick a game, pick a game. It's all really good as far as the games that have been coming out on it. I would stay away from depends on what kinds of games you're into, right? I would stay away from the titles that you should be getting later on in its life cycle, like Life is Strange or, I don't know, just some niche specific game for it.
Right. Okay.
Phoenix something Rising, I forget its name, is really freaking cool. I've seen some gameplay for it. If you didn't have a PS3 and you haven't played Demon's Souls, it's one of the best games if you really badly want to break your controller, if you like hard games.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Let me see. If you used to play Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood is on the PS5. It has some of the adaptive controller stuff to it. It's pretty cool. I'd stay away for your first game from stuff that you can get on the PlayStation 4. That's mostly what I'm trying to kind of steer you away from.
Right.
Because I want you to be able to experience what it's actually like to get a PlayStation 5.
Okay.
But yeah, the library on it's still a little low, right? It's a very new console. They haven't had much time to release anything much on it.
Right.
But in all honesty, as a console, it's very much worth it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I appreciate your advice. I guess one other question off the top of my head. Do you guys, I guess I know that stock is limited. Is there any, if I were to go with a PS5, how often are you guys having drops, like in store versus online?
Let me put it into perspective for you. I've seen 2 PS5s in the store in the last 2 months.
Okay.
Both of them were traded in. Both of them were snagged by people who are working in the store before they're even on the floor.
Oh, wow.
That is how little we're seeing of them.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, if the people inside of the store are the ones snagging the console, it tells you that there's literally freaking none of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, yeah, I'll keep that in mind, and I guess I'll probably try to get a PS5 for Christmas if I can, but otherwise I'll just, I guess, hold off until
Black
they're
Friday is
available.
probably going to be your best bet.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Stay away from the scalpers and stuff like that online. I mean, if you're loaded, I don't know what your financial situation is. If you're loaded, dude, go on freaking Facebook Marketplace or eBay. There's a bunch of them listed on there for $1,000.
Right.
Twice the original price. But if you want to actually, buy it from MSRP, Black Friday is going to be about your best bet. I would look around and I would try and find a neighborhood that has very few people in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so your best bet's going to be like Black Friday, basically, if you actually want it to be at MSRP. Though keep in mind that most places are most likely going to try to sell it as bundles on Black Friday. They're not going to sell it as just a console.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Okay. All right,
Yep.
Cool. That makes sense. Well, I appreciate your advice.
Yeah, sure thing, man.
All right.
You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks. All right, so I think that guy gave pretty good advice. He was clearly a PlayStation fan over Xbox, so he was a little bit more biased. But it's hard to expect anything less when you own a PS4 and you don't own an Xbox. So, but he made valid points. I mean, the PS5 does seem newer, I guess, kind of new innovative stuff like the cool controller and stuff. Whereas Xbox is basically a Xbox One but more powerful, and there's nothing wrong with that. Xbox Series X and PS5 are both great consoles, but he made some valid points. And now the most interesting I took away from that conversation is the fact that he's had 2 PS5s traded in. And that's what I'm dying to see. I want to see a PS5 traded in so I can buy it used from GameStop and do an unboxing, because I'm dying to see what GameStop does to it if they sand it down or whatever. But yeah, that was really interesting. And obviously he said that once they got traded in, somebody else from the store that worked at the store just picked it up. So not really much of a chance of me getting one of those anytime soon, unless I can get a hookup. If you're watching this video and you work at GameStop and you can hook me up with a used PS5, let me know. But yeah, let's go ahead and call one more GameStop and see what they have to say.
Thank you for calling GameStop. At this time, all store associates are currently assisting other customers.
Well, that one was busy. Let's call another one.
Thank you for calling GameStop. Please call back in a few minutes.
All right, so 2 GameStops in a row that are busy. I was trying to call them on off hours, so I wasn't interrupting anything, but I guess a couple of these GameStops are busy. Let's go ahead and call another one.
Thank you for calling
calling GameStop. The more you trade, the more you save. My name is Will. How may I help you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking for an expert's opinion. Trying to buy a PS5 or a Series X for Christmas, and wondering if you have any advice on which one I should buy.
We unfortunately don't have any to buy, but in my personal opinion, as someone who's been more dedicated to PlayStation, I personally like the PlayStation more. It's a little bit better to deal with, and overall, PlayStation has been overall reliable in my book. A little bit more harder to access, but overall they're better. And I would recommend, if you are going to purchase one, to go with the disc variant instead of digital, because the thing is that means if you get the hard copy, if you get a hard copy of this, cool. If you don't, you can always go with the digital variant that you can buy off the store.
Right. Okay. Do you have any specific PlayStation games you recommend for the PS5?
Really, in all honesty, it depends on the age of the person. So.
Okay. What about just a normal adult?
Normal adult. Do they like FPS games and whatnot?
Yeah.
Maybe the new Battlefield 2042 or Vanguard, or you could go with Cold War.
Okay.
There's also Forza Horizon. Really, in all honesty, you'd have to check out the new releases. That's all.
Okay, sounds good. I guess if I were to find a PS5 somewhere, does GameStop in general have any kind of trade-in deals right now, like trading in like an old PS4 towards a PS5 or something? Do you know how much a PS4 goes for right now in trade-in?
Is it just a normal PS4? Or?
Yeah, it's just like the oldest one.
Okay, so probably about $150 for credit.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate your help.
Yep, no worries.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
All right, guys, so there we go. GameStop number 3. That guy was clearly, of the 3 we've dealt with, has been the most biased towards PlayStation. The last 2 are biased towards PlayStation. The second guy, though, was trying to stay a little bit unbiased, but this guy was straight up like, buy the PS5. I mean, I guess he did say that in his opinion, the PS5, he's only had a PS4, it sounded like, so that was just his experience. So I can't blame him for recommending a PS5 when that's what he has. But the other interesting thing is he said, I asked about trading credit as well, and he said $150 for the OG PlayStation 4. The girl at the first store said $200, so not sure which is correct. I guess I could go look online. Yeah, that's just something to note. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace gives you a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to easily create your website. You can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated, members-only content, and you can also manage your members, send communications, and leverage audience insights all in one easy-to-use platform. You can also use Squarespace extensions to manage inventory, promote products, and much more. You can even display posts from your social profiles on your website and vice versa. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JacobR to save 10% off your first purchase. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.